Skoda's longest known tagline has been simply clever. But why is that?
Is it because you get a reversible boot mat that makes the car very pet-friendly? Or is it because you get a phone or tablet holder that can be fitted to the back of the front seats? Or is it because they have thoughtfully given an umbrella in the door?
Guys, where did the umbrella go? Yeah, sure. But I think it's because from the outside, they look like normal family cars. Until you hit the throttle and the whole world becomes a blur. In this part of the world, Skodas are highly underrated, especially this one. This is a new Octavia vRS, and the thing is, here, not a lot of people know about it. So before we get into the nuts and bolts of the car, let me try and set the context. See, the Octavia has been around globally since 2001, and every generation of this car has been built on the Golf GTI's platform. But the Octavia has always been bigger, more practical, and historically more affordable. But just because it's cheaper doesn't mean that you have to make a lot of sacrifices. One thing is for sure. This is undoubtedly the fastest, the sharpest, and most complete Octavia VRS ever made. So why is no one in this market really talking about this? Let me try to explain.
What separates the Octavia VRS from all its rivals is the practicality and the value. Basically, you get more car for your money. The question is whether it translates to the real world.
Firstly, let's start with what you see. You see, Octavia has got a very modest design. It's not easy to pick it up from a crowd. There is, however, a color that's very close to a neon green, which Skoda calls Mamba green. That will definitely make it more noticeable. But in the grey color that we got, kind of blends into the crowd, if you ask me. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, because designers call it restrained aggression. But for us enthusiasts, that makes it a sleeper car. See, the thing is, once you get close and you start looking for what you need to look for, then the breadcrumbs are everywhere.
All the chrome detailing in the entire car has been deleted for the VRS trim. On the corners, it gets functional air ducts, and then moving a little up, you have matrix LED headlamps. In terms of dimensions, it's 4.7 meters long, 1.8 meters wide, and 1.4 meters tall. That's substantially bigger than its spiritual siblings, the Golf GTI and the Audi A3. The 19-inch alloys are unique to the VRS, made from a combination of aluminum and aerodynamic plastic. Then comes the Octavia's signature design, the fastback roofline that ends with a liftback tailgate. Which means this hatchback, yes, you heard that right, this hatchback is extremely practical.
How practical? Well, look at it. You've got 600 liters of usable cargo space. It can be expanded up to 1,500 liters by just pressing these buttons and folding down the rear seats. This is very usable. And you also have a lot of practical everyday accessories like these hooks that are given on both ends. And you also have a divider that can be placed in the middle to divide your groceries and other stuff. See, this boot space is the largest in its segment, and it's been that way for ages now. Now, once you close the automatic boot lid, you can find a lip back spoiler. Low down, you have a black diffuser style valance, and want to know what it sounds like? Oh, there are crackles as well. Huh. It's got a soft limiter, which is why it's not revving too high. But it doesn't sound that bad though, no? It does sound even better when you step inside. I'll tell you why. Now, the reason why it sounds so good from the inside is because of something called a sound actor. Get it? Sound actor? So what that basically does is that the speakers push out this synthesized exhaust note into the cabin, which makes it sound something like this. Ooh, you can hear the crackles as well. But it's not too bad, no? Even though it's not exactly real. But what is real though is the build quality. There are no creaks that can be heard from anywhere in the cabin. There is no excess flash. Everything feels right in here.
The build quality is exactly what you'd expect from the VW group. Everything feels solid and well put together. Up front, you get a 10-inch digital instrument cluster and a 13-inch infotainment system in the center. The layout of the infotainment system is clean and responsive, though it can be a slight bit laggy at times. But Apple CarPlay and Android Auto work seamlessly, and the top-of-the-line variant is paired to a 10-speaker Canton music system. Below the screen, there's a wireless charging tray and 2 USB ports. The space at the back is also substantial. A person who's above 6 foot can easily sit at the back and go on long drives. The headroom and legroom can also be classified as best in its class. A couple of drawbacks here are that the leather seats are not an option available with the VRS trim, and nor do you get electric seats. But according to the brand, the upcoming models shouldn't have the same issue.
But I think that kind of proves that the Octavia VRS is very practical. In fact, more practical than the Golf GTI in a lot of areas.
The Octavia VRS is powered by a 2-liter turbocharged engine producing 261 horsepower and 370 Nm of torque, paired to a 7-speed DSG gearbox. The same powertrain as the Golf GTI, but in a bigger, heavier car. The question was always whether the extra weight would slow it down.
Now, when you're just cruising along in normal mode, the car feels very much at peace. The engine noise is very quiet. The exhaust is just there with a slight rumble to let you know that it is there. It's almost like it doesn't want to show off. That's peak sleeper car attitude. But when you switch the car to sport mode, then everything changes. It feels alive again. The sweet spot of the engine is when it's going from 80 to 140. The way it pulls at that speed is mind-boggling.
We also put it through the 0 to 100 sprint. With launch control on, the quickest we ran was 6.9 seconds, which is close to Skoda's claim of 6.4 to 6.6 on a warm day with warm tires. Launch control saved roughly 0.4 seconds per run compared to without it. And then there's the handling. A typical trait that you see with front-wheel drive cars is understeer. But because the Octavia has got electrically controlled limited slip differentials, it manages to send the right amount of power to the exact wheels to make sure that you can find grip around the corners. And as a result, it can carry tremendous speed into sharp bends. You can almost feel the wheels fighting for traction. But that's a battle that it will never lose. Braking confidence is also excellent thanks to ventilated disc brakes on all 4 wheels. The discs at the front are 340mm in diameter and the rear are 310mm.
Okay, so here's the thing I just noticed, and this is relevant to UAE drivers. It gets very hot outside, right? And when you do a little bit of hard driving, the brakes do tend to heat up and you can smell it. See, the thing is, it's meant for European roads. So when you're driving in 42-degree temperatures, they do tend to heat up. But just give it some time to cool down. Honestly, it does feel like the GTI. And I thought that because of the added weight, it would slow the car down, but it has not. So here's my honest opinion about the Octavia VRS after spending some quality and fun time behind the wheel. See, it's not trying to be a supercar. It's not trying to impress everybody in the parking lot. What it is trying to do is be a fast, practical, everyday car. And I, for one, can assure you that it is doing a fabulous job of that. I honestly think that this is a car that you should live with to understand the appeal of, which is why it's a great proposition to be leased. And you can do that from the Selfdrive app. You get a brand new car and you don't have to worry about insurance, registration, or even depreciation for that matter. Well, those were my thoughts of the Octavia VRS. If you like this video, do remember to subscribe to the Auto Drive channel and do follow Auto Drive on all our social media handles, so that way you can stay updated to all our latest content. Until we see you next time with a brand new car, this is Philip signing off. You've been watching Auto Drive powered by Selfdrive.